What if Sen was isekai? So in the last part, Sen joined the adventurer guild and he take his first quest, and that is to protect the merchant that Sen knows. Her name is Elena. He was accompanied by another adventurer that take the same quest as him. So they are on a carriage. Elena is driving the carriage, Sen is staying on the back. He's talking to Elena sometime, but then he goes to sleep for a while, and when he wakes up, he sees that the adventurer girl that go with him is staring at him, and says, "Geez, did you just stare at me all this time when I was taking a nap?" The girl don't say anything, and that's what Dwight said. So Seth tried to talk with her, but it was useless. She don't reply to anything, and Seth started to give up and sigh and say, "At least tell me your names." As the girl say, "It's Liz." Yeah, it's a girl. So Seth say, "Huh. So you are that mute. Good." So Seth think of something to do, and he started to make a pond about a bone and a skeleton to himself. And Seth hearing Elena laughing a little sometime, and he heard a chuckle, but it was not from Elena. And he noticed it's coming from the girl, Liz. And he started to think of something, and he started to make more and more fun and joke. The girl, Liz, started to cannot hold it anymore, and she started to laugh a little, and says, "Huh, so you do have a funny bone." And the girl say, "Huh, for a skeleton, you quite humorous, don't you? Aren't you?" And says, "Hey!" But then sensing something and tell Elena to stop. Elena asks, "What is it?" And says, "There are monsters around. We are guard." And Elena say, "Okay." There are a pack of wolves with a horn. And says, "Elena, do you know this type of monster?" And Elena say, "Horned wolf." And Seth say, "Horned wolf. Why am I not surprised?" The wolf attacking Seth or Elena or Liz. Seth attacked the wolf using a weapon on his back, and he started to use it and slicing the head of the wolf or slicing the stomach, killing half of it. And there wolf tried to attack Seth from behind, but then the wolf was attacked by a dagger, and Seth noticed this and see that it was Elena, the one that throwing the dagger at the wolf, and Seth said, "Thanks." So both of them killing the wolf. Wait a second. Sorry about that, I have to sneeze. And Seth say, "Whew, that take more longer than I thought." Seth asked Elena if he can steal the horn, and Elena say, "Yeah, you can trade the horn for somebody at the adventure guild." And Seth say, "Cool." So he takes the horn of the wolf, and he gives half of it, and let's just say there are about 16 wolves. So instead having 8 horn, and Elena no, and instead give it half of it to Liz. And then say, "Take it." And Liz say, "Thanks." And they started to go on their way. It's midnight, and they stop to sleep for the night. Elena and Liz sleeping inside of the carriage, while Sam is staying outside. He set up a camp. Wait a second. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, they are setting a camp. Liz and Elena stay in the carriage while Sam is staying in the camp. In the night, Sam wakes up and someone stretched his body. And he say, "Man, I think I better take a bath." And he started to walk. They are staying beside of a lake. Sam walked to the lake, but when he go there, he sees somebody already there. It's a girl with a blonde hair. And Sam look, and he accidentally stepped on a branch of tree, and it's making a crack sound. And the girl look at where the sound coming from, and he see Sam, and the girl say, "Ah, Sam, what are you doing?" And Sam notice who it is and say, "Wait, Liz?" And Liz immediately go into the water, except for her head, and tells Sam to "Don't look at me," while blushing. And Sam say, "I'm sorry," and he turn around. They say, "What are you doing here?" And Sam say, "Well, I was thinking of taking a bath. But I see that you is occupying it for now. I will go back to the tent, and please tell me when you already finish." And Liz say, "Fine." And Sam walk away, and Liz think, "Wait, how the heck can skeleton take a bath? They don't sweat at all. Are they?" She think about it, but she forgot it and go back after wearing a clothes. And he go to Sam and tell that he already finished with taking the bath, and Sam say thanks, and he walk to the lake. This someone want to know how skeleton take a bath, while he think that he will just dip his body in the water. But she still want to know, so she sneak without Sam knowing. And when he go, she in the bush. And then Sam started to glow, and Liz was confused. But then, when the light disappear, he see a boy at the same age as her. And let's say Liz is about I say it now. Oh yeah, 15. Liz is about 15 years old. And he see a boy, and she was in shock and think to herself, "Wait, is that Sam?" Sam taking his clothes and go inside of the water. And Liz was in shock to know he can become a human. And Liz want to go back to the tent, to the camp area, without Sam knowing. Let's go to Sam. Sam look into the night sky and think, "What a beautiful scenery, isn't it?" And the dragon say, "Yeah, this is quite a beautiful scenery." And the dragon asks, "Hey, I'm wondering, why did you not change into your human form at the capital?" And Sam say, "Well, when I'm in the human form, my expression can be read it, and I hate that." And the dragon is confused, but he don't take a mind of this. When the Sam go back, he see that Liz is already inside of the carriage, so he go back to sleep. In the next morning, they start on their journey again. And Liz look at Sam quite a lot, and Sam noticed this, but he don't take a mind of it. When they almost to the village, Sen asks, so what the village name that we will go? And Elena say, well, the village name is Rizzo. And I think, hey Liz, you from that village, aren't you? And Liz say, yeah, the people at that village is quite nice. And Sen asks, so why did you becoming an adventurer? And Liz say, well, you see, my mother and father was an adventurer. My father was given the title of a slayer, and my mother was a priest. One day, my dad passed away while protecting the village from a goblin. And my mother took care of me, but she fell ill and died. And I want to become as strong as my father. So that's why I want to become more strong. So that's why I'm becoming an adventurer. And Sensei, oh, sorry for what happened to your parent. And Liz say, no, it's not your fault. And Sensei, thanks. But then he feels something and tells Elena to stop. Elena asks why. Sen go to the edge of a mountain. Oh yeah, I forgot to say this. They are at a mountain. And Sen look at the edge of the mountain to see the village. And Sen look at the village and see something is off. Why cannot stop right now? And Sen asks Elena to come here and ask if he have a telescope. And Elena say yeah, why? And Sen say, can I borrow it? Elena say sure. Sen using the telescope and see. The one that guarding the village gate wasn't a human. And he tells Elena about this, and Elena look and see those are an ogre. And Liz is there and he hearing that and say, wait, what? And Elena say yeah, it's an ogre. And by the look of it, it's not only one, it's about it's like a clan of ogre at one place. And Liz say, what are we doing here? We have to go and help the villager. And Sensei, yeah, I know, but if we just go in, we can have race to hurt the village as well. And we don't know how many they are. We have to make a plan. And Liz say, fine, but what should we do? And Sensei, I have an idea. And Sen told both of them about this idea. And Liz and Elena say, are you crazy? And Sen say, well, kinda, but this is the only plan we have for now. And we don't have much time. We don't know what will happen to the other villager. And Liz say, yeah, you're right. Fine, we will follow your plan. So they do the plan. And the plan is, I will show you in a moment. Okay, let's go to the ogre's perspective. There are two ogres on the gate of the village. Both of those ogres is guarding the gate. One of them saw something and told the other. Both of them look and they see a skeleton, and the skeleton is Sen. Sen walked closer and closer to the gate. Both of the ogre is on guard. When Sen getting closer in front of those two ogres, eye to eye, Sen smirked and he pulled out his blade from his back. One of the ogre tried to attack Sen, but Sen dodged and go attack the ogre, stabbing it to his throat, killing it. The other ogre was surprised and he shouted, and it alarmed every other ogres. Sen go to the other ogres and killing it as well. there are a lot of ogre coming at Sans, and Sans smirk, and he think in his head, it's good as planned. Sans go fighting the other ogre, dodging and attacking the ogre, and there are villagers seeing this. They are inside of one of the house, and they look and they were surprised to see a skeleton fighting in ogres. And they was confused, and then they hear a knock on the door. The villager was scared, but then they hear, "Hello, is anybody there?" And they know this voice is a female. And they think, wait, this voice is familiar. And they open the door, and they see Elena and Liz. The villager recognize Liz and say, "Liz!" And they recognize Elena as well. They ask, what are they doing here? Liz and Elena explain about Sans' plan, the skeleton, about the skeleton being a decoy while they try to find the villager and try to save them. And Liz asks, what happened to the village? The chief village explained about a few days ago, the village was attacked by an ogre and they were held captive for the day. Some of them was eaten and used and be killed as their own toy. Liz was mad and he go and tell Elena, the villager, I will help Sans. And Liz run off. And Elena say, wait! And she sighed and say, damn it! And evacuate the villager out of the village without the ogre knowing. And then Liz go to Sans and say, Sans! And Sans say, Liz, what are you doing here? And Liz say, I want to help you. Liz put her hand to the air and shout, protection! And there are a giant barrier, and Liz spinning the barrier with a high speed, making it look like a disc and throwing it. And I was inspired by Krillin from Dragon Ball that Destructo Death. Liz killed 4 ogres by just using that, and sensing, whoa, that is quite handy. And Liz fighting the ogre with Sans. It's a few hours and they kill all of the ogres. And Sensei, man, they take longer than I thought. They're quite tough for an ogres. And then they hear something. They hear a clap. Liz and Sans getting on guard. And they say, who's there? They look to where the clapping sound coming from, and they see a person with a 3 horn, and the person say, congrats for killing my man. And I will end it right here. I know this is a a-hole move, but I am tired and this take more longer than I expected. But anyway, I hope you guys liking it. If so, please subscribe and leave a like. Anyway, see ya. Bye bye.